Greetings and good night, everyone. I just wanted to greet you and welcome back to the channel Love Like Jesus. I first off wanted to start by wishing everyone, happy holidays, merry belated Christmas. I had wanted to come on to do a video earlier, but you know how it is with the holidays, how everybody gets so busy and things, are just a little bit chaotic and busy, and you're running here and you're running there. You're doing last minute errands and last minute things. But I give God thanks. Praise be to God. He has brought us through the Christmas, and as we're all getting ready to transition into the year 2022, it's going to be a new year, and I give God thanks for that He has brought us this far, so far. I hope you had a blessed and amazing Christmas. I hope all is well. I just wanted to thank all of my Facebook viewers, all of my excuse me. I just wanted to thank all of my, not Facebook, sorry, YouTube. I just wanted to thank all of my YouTube viewers, all of my YouTube lovers, the ones who have watched the videos and showing their support by subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for your support and your love. Just wanted to let you guys know, for everyone that has subscribed to the channel, that I really love and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for, just showing that little support. Even if it's a little support, a little goes a long way. That's how we grow. Sometimes we have to start very small and then we can grow. And I just want to let you guys know, for everyone that has watched the video and has subscribed, that has showed, their support, and also by leaving a comment, I appreciate you and I love you guys, and I hope that your Christmas was wonderful and going into the new year. So without further ado, the topic that I wanted to present at this moment, it's just something, that I felt like God was putting in my spirit. And the topic is the angels that are protecting you, the angels that God has assigned to your life to protect you. As a child of God, as a Christian, we all have angels that God has assigned to us. Like, no matter where we go, no matter where we are, no matter what we do, no matter what day it is, what month it is, what year it is, God has assigned those angels specifically to our lives. And though you may not see those angels in the physical realm, but you know that they are there in the spirit realm. And everything that God does, it's not so much in the physical, it's in the spiritual. Whatever He does in our life, it happens in the spiritual, and then He manifests it in the physical. But I wanted to encourage someone tonight that you are heavily and seriously protected. God never leaves His children unprotected or uncovered. And sometimes God can place you under a specific covering of someone, or He could just place you under a specific covering. So I'm here to encourage someone and to let someone know that nothing that your enemies are doing against you will work going into 2022. Nothing that they have tried to do to you, they've tried the most over the past years up until this point to eliminate you, to take you out, to wipe you out, but it will not work. Their voodoo will not work. Their witchcraft will not work. Their black magic or their spells will not work. Because God is saying that going into 2022, the wicked will not be able to touch you anymore. People who are fighting your life, who are shooting arrows at you, they will not be able to touch you anymore. And this is what I felt like God was putting in my spirit. And what I'm saying, I'm taking it literally as well for myself. You know, God is saying that they're not going to be able, their voodoo will not work. Their black magic it's just not going to work no more. It has no power anymore over your life. It has no more effect over your life. So everything that you have gone through, everything that you have passed through, it was to make you stronger because you're heavily protected by fierce angels. You have a mighty army that is protecting you, an army that is not physical, an army that is spiritual. And these angels that are protecting you, they're not angels to be played with. They're fierce. Because there are times where your enemies will launch a certain attack. They will shoot certain arrows at your home, at your family, at your marriage, at your ministry. Whatever God has called you to do in this life, it doesn't matter if He calls you to be a pastor. It doesn't matter if He calls you to be a bishop. It doesn't matter if He calls you to be an evangelist. Whatever God has called you to do in this life, when you're called, you're called. So when the wicked, they're shooting their arrows at your family, they're shooting their arrows at your finances, they're shooting their arrows at your health, anything concerning to you, to your prosperity and your well-being, God is saying that it will not work anymore against you. None of the wicked plans that they have planned against you will work. They have tried over the years to wipe you out in any way that they could, but God did not allow that to happen. God did not allow them to touch you. And if He didn't allow them to touch you from years past till this point, He's not going to allow them to touch you even now. Because if you are righteous and living righteous, God is going to cover you. Because God sees our heart. And God knows the covering that He has placed over His people. You know, if it wasn't for God, really covering us, I was just in church just, a couple of hours ago, and that's exactly what, the message was. If God wasn't covering a lot of us, we would have been dead by now. We wouldn't be here standing to tell the story. Because the amount of arrows that they shot at you, the amount of witchcraft and voodoo that they worked against you to kill you, if it wasn't for the covering of Jesus Christ, many of us wouldn't be alive today to be telling the story. But thanks be to God, His power never fails. Thanks be to God, His power is greater than any power, any diabolical power that can exist that you can think of. The power of Jesus Christ is more superior and more powerful. God is saying that 2022, no witch is going to be able to touch you. Nothing that they do is going to be able to touch you. Because you're protected. You have a mighty army that is backing you, that is protecting you, that is watching you, watching your every step, your every move. So when they come up against your house, when they come up against your marriage, when they come up against your finances, when they come up against your family, whatever area they're going to come up against, they're not going to be able to penetrate. They're not going to be able to succeed against your life. Because the more you walk in righteousness, the more you're seeking the face of God, the more you're pulling yourself closer to God, God is going to cover you. God is going to cover you. He's going to cover anything concerning to you. So you don't have to walk in fear. You don't have to fear the wicked. You don't have to fear the witches. You don't have to fear your enemies that are fighting you, that are working so hard to eliminate you, to annihilate you. The wicked that's working so hard to destroy your destiny, to snatch your destiny out of your hands. You don't have to fear those people, because God is going to make them to be powerless. God is going to cause them to be powerless. They will have no more grounds to stand over your life. They will have no more grounds to speak curses over your life. They will have no more grounds to stand at the door of your destiny. Because what God has blessed, no man can curse, and what God has anointed to live, no man can destroy or kill. No one is going to have the power to stop your destiny. No man is going to have the power to stop your purpose anymore. Because when God turns that sword around against your enemies, against the wicked, against wicked and evil men, when God, and believe it or not, what I'm telling you, that a lot of our enemies that fight us are not strangers. These are people who are, it could be people from your family, it could be people in your circle, it could be people who are close to you. A lot of times our enemies that are fighting to annihilate us, that are fighting to destroy us, that are fighting to kill us are not strangers. And a lot of times these people, they're coming from your family, your own blood family. And it's sad, but today I'm here to encourage somebody that you're going to make it. You're going to stand. Whatever they're working against you, it's not going to work. It's not going to be able to touch you. And we have to, as children of God, we have to get to that place where we start getting severely serious in our prayer life, severely serious in the spirit, where we start pulling ourselves closer to God, meditating on the word more, dedicating ourselves more in prayer, even fasting. A lot of times, a lot of us, we don't fast because we don't deem it to be important, but it is a part of the package. If you truly want to move in the power of God, and for God to give you power and dominion over the wicked people who are fighting you, wicked and evil people who wants to see you dead and buried in the grave, you have to start moving to another level when it comes to prayer, moving into another level when it comes to fasting, moving into another level when it comes to meditating on the word. Because I'm telling you that 2022, it's going to be a year of shaking. And this is not the time for us to be playing around spiritually with our spiritual life, especially your prayer life. Because witches, they are busy in the background working. They are working to annihilate you, working. And you have to be busy in the spirit so that God can give you the power to annihilate them. But I'm here to tell someone that their witchcraft is not going to work no more against your life. Wherever they have taken your picture, whatever they have taken from you, whatever altar they have your name on, the name of your family, Whatever altar they have your name on, God is going to destroy every wicked altar that is standing against your life. Every wicked altar, every wicked enemy, every wicked witch that is working over your life, God is going to annihilate every single one of them. Because it is one thing for God to deliver you out of the hands of man, but who can deliver someone out of the hands of God? Do you think that anybody's going to be able to deliver the wicked out of God's hands? No, they cannot. So your enemies, when God turns the sword on your enemies, the people who are working voodoo on you, working witchcraft on you to destroy you, when God turns that sword around, nobody's going to be able to deliver them out of the hands of God. People who are doing evil to destroy the lives of others. People who go to a voodoo doctor or witch doctor so that they can kill you. They take your picture or your clothes or whatever they take there so that they can destroy you. But I'm here to tell somebody today that God says that their voodoo and their witchcraft is not going to work no more. God has destroyed their powers over your life. 2022 is the year that you're going to possess everything. You're going to get back everything that Satan has destroyed in your life. Everything that the devil has placed his hands on, he's going to have to remove his hands. Satan and his agents of darkness is going to have to move themselves out of the way. They're not going to be able to stand up against your destiny. So I'm here to encourage somebody as we are transitioning into a new year to have a new perspective. Put on new lenses. And those new lenses are going to come from you drawing closer in prayer, getting the bird's eye view from what God says that you are and what God says that you will be, not what they're saying. Because for too long, we've been living beyond our borders, beyond what God has called us to be. And 2022 is the year that we have to recover and take back by force what Satan has destroyed, what Satan has stolen from us. We have to take it back by force. So 2022 is not the year to be living in fear. We look around and we see so many people are running around in fear, running helter-skelter because of this pandemic. And, every other month you hear about a new virus that's coming out. Now we have this one called Omicron and another one, whatever. 2022 is not going to be the year of fear. This is going to be the year where you have to now start standing really in prayer and seeking the face of God. Because 2022 is not the year to be played with. It's going to be a shaking, and you have to be ready. You have to be prepared so that you're not overtaken by the waves. And I just wanted to encourage someone. Don't go into this year with fear. Stand in boldness. Stand with the courage of God, knowing that God is there. God is never going to allow the righteous to be overtaken by the wicked. When the wicked comes upon you, they will not be able to overtake you. And I wanted to just encourage somebody, keep on pushing, keep on fighting, keep on knocking. Because eventually, God is going to have to hear you. Eventually, God is going to have to open those doors that you keep knocking on. What's going to happen when you keep going to God in prayer, when you keep on crying out before God? He's going to have no choice but to turn around to hear your request. And this is how we have to be transitioning into the year 2022. We can't just sit down anymore to let Satan to continue to steal from us. He continues to destroy our finances. He continues to destroy our marriages. He continues to destroy our children. And we just sit around and let Satan to do that. No, this is the year where you have to stand and say, enough is enough, devil. The buck stops here. The buck stops here. No more. The curse stops here. And you have to be bold enough in the spirit to stand up and say, you know what? It stops here, devil. It's not going to go any further. You're not going to continue to attack my family. You're not going to continue to attack my marriage. You're not going to continue to attack my finances or any area in my life. The buck stops here. And you have to be bold enough to stand up in the spirit and say that. And transition into the year with a new perspective. Not in fear. Because the Bible says that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. God is not a God of fear. So, I just wanted to, just before we transition over, just to encourage someone. Continue fighting. Continue pushing. Don't give up. Don't back down. Don't stop praying. Don't stop fasting. Don't stop reading the word. And continue to pray. Continue to pray. Pray one for another. Continue to pray. Continue to push. Keep your focus. Don't lose focus. Keep your way straight. Because it's sadly enough to say that transitioning into 2022, you're going to see a lot of things that are going to take place, a lot of things that are going to happen. And you have to be ready. You have to stand and say, you know what? Satan, it's enough. No more. You're not going to marginalize me anymore. Or what Satan has taken from me, I'm going back to take it back. Amen. And let us continue to pray one for another. Let us continue to pray also too for our leaders, those that God has placed in ministry. Whether you're a pastor or a prophet or an evangelist or whatever, let us continue to pray for our leaders. Because we are in a time, like I'm saying, we're in serious times. We're in obscure times. And those people that God has placed in ministry, we have to pray for them. We have to continue to hold up those people in prayer. Because we're in a time where we see Satan is fighting the church. Everybody else has rights except for Christians, except for the church. Satan is fighting hard to shut down churches. Nowadays, you can't say nothing because if you say something that they don't like on YouTube, they want to shut you down. Or, if you say something that goes according to their way, they want to shut you down. So let us continue to pray for our leaders going into the new year. Let us continue to pray for our pastors. Let us continue to pray for our leaders, those that are in ministry. Because the battle is fierce. And you have to be fierce in prayer. You have to be fierce in God to come out victorious, to stand. The Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness in high places. We're fighting a fierce enemy, but also know that our God is more superior and more fierce. And we're backed up by a fierce constitution, which is heaven. So we gotta, pray for our leaders and let us push forward together. This is not the time for us to be pulling down one another. This is a time for us to be uplifting and lifting each other up in prayer. You pray for me, I'm going to pray for you. And this is what we need to start doing. So I just wanted to welcome everybody back to the channel. Happy holidays and seasons greetings as we cross over into the new year 2022. I wish you all the best. I pray that all of your dreams and everything that you seek to accomplish this year will come through. And let us, continue to pull closer to God in prayer, closer to God. This is the time. And I wish you all the success and all the best going into 2022. And I hope to see you guys soon again. And again, thank you to all of my thank you to all my YouTube lovers, my YouTube subscribers and supporters who are watching the videos and supporting. I appreciate and love you so much. God bless you. And happy 22 when you cross over. And keep on believing, keep on holding on to God, and keep on pushing. Love you much. God bless you. Shalom.